Hey everyone, my name is Daniel, and in this video, I'll show you the new SharePoint list knowledge feature available in both the current and the new Copilot Studio. I'll show you how mundane it currently is because we go to a topic. In the topic, we have to trigger a Power Automate Cloud flow. There, we use the get items action and then respond back to the agent. Now it's as easy as adding it as a knowledge both in the existing and in the new Copilot Studio. So stick around because this truly makes our lives so much more easier now that we can just go and connect to these lists and start utilizing it instead of putting all of this additional work manually. So I really am looking forward to demoing this to you. But first, here's my intro video. So let's get started. First, let me show you the SharePoint list that I'm going to use as a demo in this video. What you see over here is NCDOT, which is North Carolina Department of Transportation. And check this out. This list has 44,735 items. Yeah, that's a lot, but believe it or not, in my line of work, this is normal. So I'm really going to put this new feature to the test to see even if it works at this high scale. So now that you know the data source, let me show you how I first built it and then the enhancement. So this agent that you see over here, this is how I originally built it when SharePoint lists wasn't available as a knowledge. The agent was all fine, but in order to pull data from that knowledge, I first had to go and build a topic. In the topic, I call it as Ask Info. And when it got triggered, I specifically asked for 3 things to narrow down to that list item. So if you go back to that list over here, see the key things were county, route, and the location. So that's what I asked. The questions was about that. The first question I used to ask is, provide me the county name. Then I would say, provide me the route. And then finally, provide me the location. All of that information was saved in variables, and then I went ahead and sent it as a flow. So you see over here, these variables were sent to this flow. So let's actually go to this flow. I'm going to go and click on it, and it'll take us directly into the agent flow. As you can see, it has run a few times, but let me show you in the designer part of it. Trigger is when an agent calls the flow, and then after that, I have to use this get items action. This is a very common action that we've used so many times, especially when we're going and retrieving information from a SharePoint list. So over here in the filter query, I went ahead and did a OData type of filter. That way I am not pulling all of those 44,000s and then doing a condition for each of them. No, you specifically pull what you want. And then once I've gone ahead and filtered it, I only get the item that I want. I do an initialize variable first, and then in that variable, I go ahead and specifically add all of this information that I want, because that SharePoint list collects information from the year 2002 all the way to 2018. This is what it is. It's actually collecting good stats of all the activity specifically on this location from the year 2002 all the way up to the year 2018. I want to pull that information. So that's what you're seeing in this designer over here. All right. So when the variable is updated, I go ahead and now respond that back to the agent using that variable. This was the convoluted work that I had to do in the back end. And it wasn't even perfect. Here's what I mean. When I come back over here to the agent, let's go and do this test. All right. This is the agent. I'm going to have a conversation with this agent and give it that information. But I'm also going to test that 44,000 rows of items over here. So to really test it, here's what I'm doing. It will be easy to go ahead and pull the IDs from the top. What I'm going to do is pull it from the bottom, like go really down to one of those high numbers just to see how well this thing was working. So I'm going to go from a larger side, and then I'm also going to go and filter it down to just specific things. So for example, I'm going to go and get a county called Wilson. So right over here, right? So that county, I'm going to go and filter it based on Wilson right over here. Right? So we got Wilson. That's the one that I'm going to go and use. Right? So I'm going to apply that. But even that still has so many more routes and locations. So let's filter down the route as well. I'm going to filter it by specifically this one, NC 58, North Carolina Highway 58. All right. We still have a lot of list items. So now I got to filter down to the location one. So for my location, this is the one that I'm going to use, south of SR 1607. So let me just go and filter it down to that one as well. All right, right over here. Right over here, this one. So I'm going to apply that. So that is SharePoint list item number 44,732. That is what we're going to use to test both in the current user flow and also in this new way using the knowledge. So let's start on the old one, all right? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say for the county name, it is Wilson, all right? Let's type that in. For the route, it's NC58. Give it an enter. For the location, it is south of SR 1607, all right? So now, after I did this, the flow gets triggered. It's going to go ahead and do all of that filtering, and this is what it gives me. It provides me all the statistics of this location. Great. At least for this conversation, the agent went ahead and used that flow to provide the numbers. Now, is it a clean response back? Absolutely not. Additional work would have to be done to even make the response a little bit more nicer because, hey, you're having a conversation. The neat thing is now using the knowledge, even all of that is factored in. And to really take it up, I'm going to use Claude as one of my models. So I know I spent a little bit more extra time on here, but to prove a point, to do this was not easy. But now let's see how much easier it has gotten. This is the exciting part. All right, so we're back in the current design of Copilot Studio. And if you notice, it's very similar to what I originally had. The description is the same, the instructions are the same, but two differences. First of all, the model of this agent, I bumped it up to Claude Sonnet 4.6. And I also went and added the knowledge. So if you go and take a look at the topics, I haven't added anything new because all the magic was happening directly in the knowledge side over here. But the key thing is I don't have to be as detailed in my description. Because remember in the original demo, I had to break it down into 3 separate questions: the county, route, and the location. Over here, I'm just going to give one statement using natural language. So check this out. Here is what I'm typing in. What information do you have about Wilson County, route NC58, and location south of SR 1607? One single sentence. Now I'm going to go and hit enter. And this is the fun part to see how Claude Sonnet actually thinks in the backend, right? It's first of all telling us searching through knowledge sources, which is true because this is the SharePoint list is a knowledge source. So that's happening. And then it starts giving me this output over here. Let it finish and then we'll screw up and take a look. So the first thing it does is it gives me the general information of this county, route, and location. It gave me the county name, but it also pulls additional information that I never really asked for, but the AI thought that it was helpful to me. And in this case, I'll accept it, all right? Because it gave me the location ID, the legacy coverage volume ID, and then the route and the location. But this is the key things that I needed. The annual average daily traffic data gives me in a nice table format and even through an emoji over here, which is pretty neat. But you see that nice clean format over here? Boy, that's so much better than what we got over here, right? Now, granted, I could have gotten that over here. I could have made a nice improvement. Now, granted, I could have replicated that over here, but that would have taken additional work, like adaptive cards and some tweaking. Over here, out of the box, no additional work was done by me. So it's right over here, and then it ends with more information. Key thing is when I hover over here, you see this URL on the bottom left. That shows that the knowledge came directly from that SharePoint list. That is it. It did not pull it from the internet. And once again, you can use this knowledge now in the SharePoint list. So let me show you how you can set this up. So you go to your knowledge. This is what it looks like, but let me show you how to add it. You come over here to the top left, which is plus add knowledge. And then you come over here to the SharePoint powered by WorkIQ. That powered by WorkIQ basically also means that it is using MCP in the backend. And WorkIQ is the next best thing. I highly recommend you start getting used to it. So in your data policies, they show up as different connectors. Start going and approving them so you can start to leverage it. Because in this scenario, that's exactly what I used. We literally are using MCP in the backend. So now when I go and click on it and I do a browse item, when I expand this navigation, this new option shows up over here. You see my lists or recent lists. That was something which was not there before. Why? Because before the only option we had was for libraries of documents, pages, things like that. Finally, we see lists over here. So that's basically what you do. You either select either one of them, hoping that you can easily find it. And if that's not the case, you can go down to the site level and find the lists. So in my case, this is the list I already use, but in case I didn't see it yet, let me show you how I found it. It was in this proof of concept site. You see libraries and you now see lists. So I selected the lists tab and then I just scroll down quickly over here, found my list, and then did a confirm selection. That's all. Once you do that, it shows up right over here as your list. Now you can go into the list and you can do further tweaking. Just like the knowledge you did before. You can change the name, you can give it a good description, which I highly recommend that you do. You can still include or exclude the same options we had for the library, which is use it at any time or only when referenced by our topics. By the way, Microsoft, if you're watching this video, this is where I would love the option for skill. That way I can directly just go and do a selection over here. That'd be a nice to have. But that is it. You add your SharePoint list as your knowledge with just a few clicks and it works really well. So this is how you do it in the current Copilot Studio. I'm also going to demonstrate to you how it works in the new Copilot Studio. Just a quick update. If you wish to support my channel, you have two options. Go to my YouTube channel, click on join and select any one of these membership options. Keep in mind, you can cancel it at any time. For a one-time payment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Dan Christian and select either 1, 5, or as many coffees as you like. Thank you for your support. So in this new experience, I come over here to my agents, and here is the agent that I rebuilt from scratch. And again, you will see some similarities over here with the existing one that I just showed you. So you see, for example, over here, the description section, I went and copied that text and I put it right over here as the top of the instructions. Then I went ahead and copied the rest of the instructions from the current agent and I pasted over here in the new experience one. So it was almost a very easy migration. And same thing on the knowledge side as well. It's the similar process. You come over here, you click on it, it gives you these 3 featured ones, which is the ones I see. You might see some different ones, but you and I know that it's a SharePoint list. So I selected the SharePoint list, click on the browse items, and from here, it's exactly the same. You go ahead and expand this, you see the my list. If you don't see the one over here, you go to the site, you find your list and you add it. And again, you come back over here, clean up the name and you clean up the description. So the process to configure is the exact same. But let me end with this demo in the preview. All right, so I'm coming over here to the preview and I'm going to ask the exact same question which we did for the version 2.0. All right, I'm going to say, what information do you have about the Wilson County, route NC58, and location south of SR 1607? Going ahead and hitting enter. And now it starts to do some work. Now, the one thing that I did notice is that in this case, it takes a little extra time. And I'm not sure if that is a Copilot Studio thing or if it is the model one on that side. The neat thing is it is doing all the work for us. So I'm willing to spend a few extra seconds over here because let's face it, initially we had to go ahead and run a flow. And you and I know, even every time you run a flow, you are losing a few seconds. But I'm willing to sacrifice those few seconds over here because it's doing all that work. I mean, see, it went ahead and loaded a skill to analyze it as a CSV file, goes ahead and runs some queries as scripts in the back end, specifically for the county, for the route, and for the location. And it came me in this nice format. See, very similar to what we saw before, right over here. It gives you a record details, which is what it calls over here. In the original one, it was just information. But after that, in a nice table format, it gives you this breakdown, similar to what we had before over here as well. So the overall response is pretty nice. And specifically in this scenario where we are building a very simple agent and you are using SharePoint lists as a knowledge, building your agent in this modern experience also works well. So first of all, big thank you to the Microsoft Copilot Studio team for releasing this much needed new feature. And for the makers and the developers, there is no easy one-click process for the migration. So if you're doing similar to what I demoed to you, you will have to disable that workflow and disable that topic and add it as a knowledge, but definitely do some testing. This might be even a good time to go in and update it to a different model. But all in all, this is pretty awesome. So hopefully this video was useful to you. And as always, keep using Copilot Studio. Hey everyone, my name is Daniel and I'm a community contributor focusing on all things AI related. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like and leave a comment behind. I love reading the feedback you leave behind as it really helps me shape my future content. And if you want more content like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. So once again, Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.